I would like to briefly already introduce Bojan, our co-host and guest speaker. Bojan is one of the friends, I would like to say, from Rankscale, and is also really a pioneer, one of the people that we really look up to. So therefore, we're of course very, very happy to be able to give the stage as well to Bojan. And then we will start with Patrick. Patrick is one of the co-founders of Rankscale. Patrick will show right now how to set up an MCP connection with Rankscale. And then thereafter, we'll dive into the session of Bojan. Bojan will focus on sharing some automation and some workflows with the REST API, and also show when is it actually interesting to potentially use the MCP and when is it actually more interesting to use the API. So Patrick, please go ahead, take over the screen, and then we're all looking forward to getting all of the insights.
I should see my screen now. Actually, I'm currently in Claude, and most of you probably already familiar with Claude, and you can connect certain MCPs here. There are connectors. You see I already have connected certain things like Figma, where you can really streamline your processes. And now really new is the Rankscale MCP, and you can connect this as a custom connector here. So this is also from Claude, still in beta, but you would just call this the Rankscale MCP. And then I quickly hop over into Rankscale. Here under the Help Center, we have the AI Assistant MCP article where you can grab the Rankscale MCP server URL. And then we can paste this here. And simple as it is, we click Add. I already set this up. Give me a second. Manage connectors. So I quickly tested it before. So clicking here. So essentially it would be in that step now. You added the server URL. I'm not connected yet, so I have to connect now. Clicking that, it will redirect me to Rankscale. It will say connect to Rankscale. It will read your brand, search terms, execution, and topics. I say now allow access, and then I have to confirm my identity. I will do that now. Probably I get them. No, it worked. Great. Allow access. Now it's loading. And we are connected to the Rankscale MCP. And simple as it is, I can then ask the question and say, please give me the visibility score of the brand Rankscale from the Rankscale MCP. And now it will fetch the data over the MCP. Now actually it was looking how it can connect, and it finds the tool. We have the new MCP connected. It lists the brands as one of the actions. Might ask me for allow. No, it doesn't. It's fine. So I already allowed that. Now it gets the Rankscale dashboard summary from the Rankscale brand and pulls the metrics. So last 7 days, the visibility score of Rankscale was 50%, 72 mentions, and average position and so on. You can pull different time frames. Please bear in mind, right now it's a read-only connection, but we are in the process of extending that. So in the future, you will also be able to actually create brands and set up your search terms using that MCP. Imagine doing research with Claude and then almost automatically set up an AI rank tracking in Rankscale. Yeah, that's from my side. Happy to give over to Bojan now.
So the difference between MCP and the API, because the Rankscale first created an API, it's kind of a hidden away. It's kind of difficult to find even the documentation. You have to be logged in, and then it's somewhere in the integrations part of the helpful manual. So my suggestion to you guys is just make it public, make all the documentation public. It might even be good for SEO, so that and it's definitely easier for agents to figure out when you give them an API and to have some public-facing documentation. So I'm thinking first of for who should be using the MCP and who should be using the API. I have some analysis and recommendations based on what's more efficient for what types of tasks. But now you just reminded me you were using normal Claude, not Claude Code or not, you weren't in the terminal. So for the people who are not comfortable using Codex or Claude Code or using a AI agent in the terminal or in your VS Code or what's the most Windsurf, or what's the other one that's really popular, IDE agentic Cursor. Yeah. So if you're happy and you're kind of, even if you're not a developer but you're kind of vibe coder and you use those tools, then maybe the API makes more sense. But I'm guessing most people are not that comfortable with that. You use AI to help you think and work, but not really to create code. So that's where the MCP really shines, because you don't need to have an agent that has access to terminal. It doesn't need to run bash commands. So the MCP is very light on or very good for security. Everything is connected to the MCP server of Rankscale. They define what the limits of the tool are. You can, since it's read-only, you can't mess anything up. And you can use it with basically any type of AI engine. So be it just normal ChatGPT or normal Claude. It doesn't have to be Codex or Claude Code. Man, they should kind of rename it. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and so I prepared some materials beforehand. So the agenda, we went through how to implement and install the MCP on your own. I will talk a little about how to use the API, and I've created a skill. So if you have and you're comfortable with using Claude Code or Codex or Windsurf or anything like that, just say copy this URL and paste it and say I want to install this skill, which allows me to use Rankscale API, and AI will figure out the rest. So I will show you some capabilities. So before we get into discussion MCP versus API a little bit more in depth, let me just give you first a teaser of, okay, why do you, once you have the Rankscale and you started using it, you have the nice web dashboard and user interface that's functional, that works, and what else can you do with those tools, MCPs and APIs? So let's quickly dive into that. If we have time, I have something extra that you can do with the APIs to calculate how consistent the models are. That's totally experimental. Yeah, I hope we will have some time for that as well. But first, kind of basic usage and kind of replicating what the web UI already can do. But if you want to have it in your agentic workflow, AI workflow, you can do it with those tools. All of this is done with the API. I'll explain later why. Some of the things could have been done with the MCP. And one thing, I'm not looking at the chat while I'm presenting. So if somebody has a question, you're definitely more than welcome to interrupt me, but you have to actually interrupt me with audio so that I can hear you. I'm totally fine with that. In fact, it will be better. Or Jules could maybe read the comments, and if there's something really relevant for the kind of slide or the chart that we're seeing, let me know if there's a question. So what you can do with the API and MCP as well, just, okay, I've pull out the topics that I have. So topics and prompts. I have on my demo account, it's kind of my private non-business account that I have for Rankscale. There's one brand, it's DeLonghi coffee machines, which hopefully you're all familiar with. So they're #1 coffee machine making brand in the world, and as we will soon see, that's the case because of AI answers as well. So you can pull up, okay, what did I put? What are my topics and prompts? And AI can give you a list of that. So if you want to replicate the user interface that you're familiar with from Rankscale, so what's my kind of average visibility throughout my time period, and just show me the chart of my visibility. And here I ran out of tokens. I forgot to ask Patrick to give me more credits on Rankscale, and there's the tracking stopped. And then, oh, sure, yeah, I have to reactivate this demo account. And then the guys gave me more credits, and then the tracking continued. So that's a real scenario that can happen. I mean, if you're doing client work and you have many clients and many Rankscale accounts, somebody forgot to renew the credits, or you're kind of over ambitious with your tracking, and this kind of gap happens. You cannot really see it well in the web interface. It's what's it called? The line is connected. There's a word for that. When the chart is connected, even when there's no data. Here, you can just visualize and show the client, oh yeah, there is a period where we didn't have tracking. So if that's something you want to surface in your analysis, you can do that here. You can replicate all of the scorecards that you have in the Rankscale brand dashboard. So your visibility score, sentiment, mentions, citation, average position, basically all of them. You can recreate with the API. I think with the MCP as well. You can do the table, which is kind of difficult to do in the internet. It's much easier now that these guys have added to expand the chart. That's something new. Can I show that? Just not a lot of people probably know that. I hope that I don't show something weird. I have millions of tabs open from various clients. So did you know, guys, that you can do this? You can go to a chart that's kind of small, and you can find the button here and expand it. I've learned that like 3 days ago from the Rankscale. What's your kind of change log? So this is much more easier to screenshot than that. And if you want models, so these are our models. I would look at it, I had to zoom in. So if I were to send this screenshot to the clients, and I don't care about the changes through time, so I would have to do it like this and say, okay, this is our visibility for each model, which is kind of fine, but I have this white space in the middle, so I have to edit the Rankscale CSS or edit the image with AI or something like that, which is kind of annoying. Rather than doing that, I can just ask AI to use MCP or the API skill and just create a table that's designed any way you want. So you have your visibility, mentions, and average position, not detection rate, not mentions. And this is something that this is a mistake, because I told Claude for this kind of a basics section, this should be everything that the web UI can do. So this actually brand rank, this is my own kind of, it's not that invention. I cannot say that it's something new or like very special. It's out of all the brands that are found for this particular model. So this is ChatGPT. Throughout my tracking interval time that I'm pulling data from, it found 91 brands, and I am the first brand. And it turns out that DeLonghi is the first brand for each model. It kind of looks silly for an example. It's not maybe the perfect example. I should have used more prompts for which DeLonghi is not the #1 result. But for this client, you can see like visibility ranges from 60% to 50, 40. And that's kind of nice to see. But when you present those values to clients, like your visibility is 67%. Okay, what does that mean? Am I the first brand? Am I the second? And your visibility can be 60% for 3 different topics, and you are not the first. You might not be the first most recommended brand for all of them. Maybe you, for the same topic, for the like 70 or 60% visibility, for one topic you are the first brand that's most recommended overall. But then again, with the same visibility percentage or score, you can be the third or fourth brand because the #1 brand has 90% visibility or something like that. So my primary metric for Rankscale is not even visibility, it's my brand rank in brackets by visibility, because that's the actual metric that I'm. Okay, we'll come back to that. You can reproduce the AI models through time that we just said. Here's my gap in measurement. So to be transparent, if that's something that happened, you can be transparent with the client. So hey, we have a gap in measurement, but this is the full range of by time. Or you can not use dates. You can just use execution runs. So this would be execution 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you don't even report on dates. That we might get to that later. Why that might be important. So here's something that it didn't pull correctly. So of course this is you're using AI and you're using APIs for a third third-party data set. mistakes might happen. And I think in all of my analysis, this might be the only issue that I've noticed. So I actually, okay, through the entire time that I have tracking, pull the top 10 brands and by visibility and show them this chart. So basically the chart that we're all familiar here, but let's say not for this period, for let's say whatever there is, as long as period as it can be. I'll zoom out a little bit. So I wanted to recreate this chart and not by day. I cannot do it. So, okay, so the web UI has limitations. I cannot view longer periods of times with a granularity by day. So the UI forces me to view it as you should view it like this, but I wanted to have it like looking more granular like this. And for this first period, it did not pull the brands. It gave some kind of explanation what happened and why couldn't it do it. But for the second period of tracking, it successfully pulled all of the brands. And you can see this is kind of my the demo brand, and my demo prompts are not the best example because I've chosen prompts that for which DeLonghi, my kind of target brand, is always the first by a long way. So your results might vary, of course, and I have some of my client brands that are barely visible at all, and we're building the core SEO basics for even get them some visibility of about 1%. So the whole range is possible. Then the top 20 brands by visibility, it's the same as here in the UI. You go to your competitors, and there's DeLonghi, Breville, Jura, DeLonghi, Breville, Jura, and so on. So you can recreate the interface from Rankscale, but you don't need all of these metrics. All of these columns are confusing, and you don't want to report on them. You want to show something very clean for the client. So you choose the couple of metrics that you want, and you let AI build the chart the chart that you want to present. Top 20 domains by citations and so on. So these are the things, and this is kind of nice. This is not obviously possible through the web interface, but for each citation domain, I hope this is visible enough for you guys. You can have, okay, does it mention my brand or not? And then you can find somebody. I should have told it like, okay, put no in red. Like I basically didn't, just for you guys, like how did I design this? I didn't. I just gave the Claude Code instructions. Show me a chart with top 20 domains by citations, and show the citation share, and also create a new metric that shows yes or no if my brand is cited. And I did not choose this font. I did not choose the spacing, everything. So I can for client work, I can be very, very picky with the design. For this quick demo, this is the default what Claude did. So I would prefer to have no's in red, so they kind of, okay, we are not being mentioned on homegrounds.com, so that's an opportunity for outreach and link building or something like that. Now, advanced analysis is things you cannot really do with the UI. So we already kind of, it's not a true split. Even here in the basics, I've showed you things that are not really possible with the UI. But these kind of things are not even available as metrics. So as I mentioned, the brand rank, so per topic. So these are my topics. Remember I'll scroll quickly. Just if you're not familiar with that, you should group each of your prompts. So these are my prompts. So let's say, what's the best drip coffee maker? And since this can be long, or this prompt can be really long, you need to create a topic first in Rankscale to give it kind of a short name. And the short name should be semantic enough for you to understand, okay, it's referring to this prompt. So that's just part of the standard workflow, how you use Rankscale, or any similar tool, I guess. And here are my topics. And my brand DeLonghi is first for the number one brand. So brand rank according to visibility. So if you just show visibility, it's 9%, 88, and 83, 81. So your client can say, oh, what should we do? Our 81% is not that high. we want to be 93% like this other topic here. And then you say, oh, don't focus on this percentage. You are the #1 brand out of 94 brands. And the difference in 10% of visibility for this particular topic doesn't matter, because you are the most recommended brand for this topic by all LLM models. One thing that I will note here that is idea that I haven't kind of played with, and I don't have an example for. But what you can do to even go further with the advanced kind of analysis is, for most of us and most of our clients and websites, ChatGPT is the #1 AI referral source to the website, and probably most of our clients, customers use ChatGPT to do their research. So what you can do is weighted visibility. So you give each AI engine, if you want, different from GUI to API, to give each model a weight of how important are they for your business, for your brand. So let's say you give a lot more weight to your visibility in ChatGPT than for Mistral or Grok or something like that. And then when you calculate your visibility and rank, you use a weighted average or weighted score to go even further and be even more precise with, okay, not only that for every model's calculated equally, that we have visibility of 90% or 80%, but specifically, we don't even have to break it down by my model, but have one score that says, okay, for the models that are most important for us, taking that into consideration. So that's advanced. I mean, we should do it. It would be fair to present clients with a score that's representative of the market, of the majority of the people that use any of these AI tools that you set up tracking for. Okay, so basically now you know that 40% means that, okay, for this topic you are #3. It's not end of the world. It's not horrible. Where it's really bad, okay, when you have visibility 7% or 1%, then you are the 15th or 44th brand, and this is so DeLonghi is not good. Does not have good visibility on AI for manual espresso machines, even though I haven't randomly selected this topic and this prompt. They actually do have manual espresso machines in their offer. I didn't just ask AI to recommend like what are the best manual espresso machines, and that my brand doesn't even play in that space, and that doesn't even compete with the product. DeLonghi has a product, but their product is not popular, doesn't have good visibility, so the brand is not known for this particular topic. Also, drip coffee maker, they actually do have a drip coffee maker or model or several models, but that's not what AI thinks that DeLonghi is good for. So that's you can be first for a lot of topics and be the dominant brand in the world for the things that you are known for. But if you have a new product launch, a new product line, your AI visibility might be terrible, worse than some up and coming startup brand. So that's yeah. If there are any questions, go ahead. Otherwise, I will soldier through. AI engines by brand rank and visibility. So the same thing as here, basically the same chart that we saw recently before. Just the brand rank here is the first metric. So for all of these models, DeLonghi is #1 brand, despite the fact that for some topics they are not #1. I hope that's clear to everyone. Next, you can have a kind of big pivot like this. Brand rank, so that's my primary metric, per topic by engine. So this is for our brand rank for DeLonghi. So we know that for each engine, they are on average #1, but that's not true for each topic. So let's say for drip coffee maker on ChatGPT, they are brand 20, most recommended. And for best coffee machines under $500, they are #3, probably because they are kind of expensive. On Google AI mode, they are, so this is probably, they are not even showing up where it's blank. So it's basically, no visibility, zero visibility for the topics of manual and drip coffee makers. And for best automatic coffee machines with grinder, they are the 6th brand on Google AI mode. So I think this is really useful for me, and then this gives you an idea. So when you're looking at which citations you should focus on for your outreach and what you should or content marketing ideas, then you don't look at them in Rankscale in general for everything, but here you can figure out what your gaps are. Okay, so I really want this topic. I want to own it on each model. And then I focus on this topic and this model and look at citations in Rankscale interface or using the API or MCP to give you. Okay, give me. I could do it right now. Okay, let's try it right now. Show me the top 20 citations domains for the topics this and only I'll put it in brackets just to be sure. I think it's smart enough to figure it out, but I just want to make sure. And only for the AI engine, it was this. Oops. This using the Rankscale API skill. Yeah, it's lowercase, but will it figure out what to do? And I'm on Fable. So okay, it will burn for a few more tokens than I need to be, but it's fine. Does it have access? Does it have the right API key? Because I have multiple Rankscale accounts. Just I will let it work and I will go back to my presentation, but I just want to make sure that we are not waiting in vain. Let it do its thing. Its Fable is kind of slow. Okay, so that's Dest. So we can now see the results of how. So we discovered something new, and maybe hopefully we'll get something out of it as an idea. This would be a give me for each model here just the GUI models, so just the web interface models. Engines. I kind of mix. That's my fault. It's not a model. Model is something that engine is part of the AI engine or AI platform. I think the proper term that Rankscale uses correctly is AI engine. That's fine. So for each of them, give me the brands sorted by their position. So unfortunately, we are first for each. My brand DeLonghi is first for each, and the Jura is second. And then there's some movement in the third brand. So here for ChatGPT, the third brand is Philips. This should have kind of been called Jura and Jura. That's kind of difficult thing for any prompt tracker, and this should have been caught by the entity recognition. So the competitor Jura hasn't been consolidated. That's something that you really need to do manually. So before you do any reporting, unfortunately, you have to go here and where is this? You should have done, if I remember correctly, what to do. Group selected. Yeah. I should have done that before. And now, next time I pull this data, I will have just one brand that's Jura. And I probably shouldn't have named it Jura E8. That's a model. That's not that's a model of product, not a brand. So I should basically have done this and consolidate it again and just call it Jura. And so hopefully as Rankscale systems improve, this process will be better, but that is probably the toughest thing to do in AI visibility tracking is entity recognition, because the text that comes out as AI answers can be varied. You can mix products, brands, and different brand names and variations and misspellings and lowercase, uppercase, whatever in different languages. So I'm not too harsh on Rankscale for getting this wrong. It's still we as humans need still to do some manual work and as well. Fable says it did something. So yeah. So here's the list. Remember, we were looking for, give me basically outreach opportunities for this. And here you go, outreach opportunities. Okay, Google is not, but coffeenest.de is a website where if I don't have visibility, then I should improve it and to get my to get my visibility up for this topic on Google AI Mode. I mean, very, very targeted, very specific action point that you can give to your clients. This looks better when, like I said, when you're not number one for everything, then you can say, I'm not number one for AI overs, or somebody's beating me for ChatGPT. For this example, everything is fantastic. So you can use that as an example. If your client asks, okay, give me an example of brand that's number one for all AI models, remember DeLonghi coffee machines, as long as your prompts and topics are their core product line and not their kind of new and up and coming product line. Something that I didn't expect to see like this are citations by URLs, because in Rankscale we have citations only as domains, but I wanted to see how, I wanted actually to have it as a line chart through time. So these are dates, and these are exact URLs. I can zoom in a little bit. So this is some kind of a URL of a citation. This is another URL. And for each day, this is the amount of citations that it got from all of my tracking for that day. So it's kind of nice. It might even be better than a line chart, because line chart would be really messy and unreadable here. So actually, Claude surprised me and did a better visualization than I kind of asked it to do. So that's kind of nice to have. Yeah, there's some, how the charts are made, the instructions. Do you need to know that? I mean, if you're curious, you kind of should, but at least your AI can read all of that instructions. And as I said, everything is kind of already baked into the skill if you're using API. And yeah, so I'm gonna take a look at the time. We have 20 minutes left. Are there any questions, you guys? Comments from Jules, Patrick? What do you think so far?
I think it's great what you have achieved by even getting more insight out using the API or the MCP. So that's also what we think is the future, that you have like your preferred AI assistant and just hook into the data you're interested in, and can really accelerate insights gathering and also executing then in improving visibility or whatever the task is. So really looking forward to all the developments people will do with our MCP or API.
Yeah. And the question kind of emerges: do you even need to build an interface for your SaaS product? So, for example, Data for SEO is a famous API provider and data provider, and they mostly have APIs. But it's kind of difficult when to visualize and to imagine. Then it's the limit of our imagination of what can I even do with this data. And since I already have this pretty good interface from Rankscale, then okay, this gives me a starting point. Okay, I can visualize this data in this way, and then I can start using it and ask questions and figure out, oh, I'm missing something. Or if I take a screenshot, I don't really like how it looks, and then you have a solid reason to use the API. And if you just have APIs, then it's a blank slate. Then all of the data analysis questions, the mental burden is up to you. So a quick kind of research of what is most efficient and what are the capabilities are of the MCP versus the API. Claude wrote something too much, so I will just what I said holds, that MCP is kind of first thing to do for any kind of agentic work, and you don't have to give it full control over the terminal and to run bash commands and so on. Here's the kind of handy table of what both can do and what one can do and not only. So MCP cannot do currently just specific date ranges. So you cannot tell it, give me the last 15 days, because MCP, as it now is baked in just the ranges of 7 days, 30 days, and so on. But while the API can do any kind of date that you want. Raw AI answers are not exposed through the MCP. If you want to just download all of the, like if you do the export of AI answers, you cannot do that with the MCP. You can do it with the API. But if you want to see your shopping analytics per term source domain visibility, like which sites AI pulls from, I mean, this is a mistake. The API can do it as well. So Claude made a mistake here. Saved custom dashboards and views. If you have them, the API, the MCP can surface them, but the API can't. And execution listing with time bounds plus cursor. I don't even know what this means. So I don't know what cursor pagination is. If somebody can explain, I can ask, of course, Claude, what did it meant by that? So this is totally rough demo, but it gives you some idea of what the MCP is good for and what the API is better. The MCP is it has shopping intelligence, which I don't think it's available in the API, and it's a lot quicker. But my question, okay, is it quicker? Is it most efficient? So I did 2 experiments. One really quick, pull my visibility for all of my topics, and then something more complex, like pull all of the brands and for all my topics and calculate my brand rank according to visibility. So I have just 2 experiments. For one experiment, the MCP for the lighter load, MCP was more efficient. So this is the number of tokens. It like 40K tokens versus 56K tokens for the API. So the API for short questions is slightly less efficient. However, for complex analysis and pulling lots of data, the MCP took much longer, and it may not even complete the task fully because it's not as capable as the API. And even that, this second experiment is something that both can accomplish. I didn't give the task to the MCP that it couldn't do. So I forgot exactly what, it's probably written somewhere what the exact task is. But here the difference is huge. Here the API is much more efficient. So TLDR, use MCP if you want very quick answers that are kind of already available in the web interface. And but if you're comfortable with using advanced Claude Code or Codex or Cursor, anything that has full command of your running terminal commands, then definitely the API is not only more capable, but it's also a more efficient, and you will spend less tokens using the API. And that's why I created the skill as well. So here is the breakdown of all of that. So I'm not going to, I will give you guys, you'll have links to this. So the thing is, both achieve the same results. My question is, okay, it would be really bad if the results from the MCP differed a lot from the results from the API, then because the underlying data is the same, and if I ask both methods the same question, they should have returned the same answer, and that's correct. So no issues there. Both methods will give you the same data and same result, and just difference in. So this is just like, this doesn't really show anything because Claude basically checked if both MCP and API will provide the exact same chart, and they both provided the exact same numbers to generate this chart. Yeah, whatever. When to use which tool, as I already said, for quick things, MCP is fine. For advanced things, always the API, and you have the skill to, so you then have to build your own. I would like to leave some time for questions because I hope there will be a couple of questions. So I'll quickly go through the AI engine consistency. So the question is, out of the data that I have, how consistent is each model? So okay, what is consistency? It is a kind of a composite metric that's made out of lineup stability. So if I ask a question, what is the best coffee machine in the world? And it always puts the exact same brands for each answer that it gives, and I ask 100 times, and the 100 times is the same brands. We're not looking at the order of the brands. If it's the same, then the lineup is completely stable. We have 100% of consistency in the lineup. And also, if the order is the same, so it's always DeLonghi, Jura, Breville, whatever. If that's the same for all 100 responses or how many you have in your sample, then that model is 100% consistent. I mean, we all know from using AI that they can be wildly inconsistent. You can get completely different result just by asking the same prompt again, and that's why we have Rankscale and other tools that you have to run multiple times to get kind of statistical average of your brand's visibility. And then, okay, these two, lineup stability and order stability, would kind of be enough, but that's not the most impactful thing, and it kind of would be skewing to the average of the whole group, where usually the most impactful on the real world scenarios where people are looking for recommendations, and I ask ChatGPT to recommend a coffee machine, you're basically looking at the top 3 recommendations that ChatGPT gives you. So top pick stability, or even the stability of the first most recommended brand, this is also another metric that I've used. And all of that combined is a single AI consistency score. So I'm curious, okay, by model, and of course, we have to differentiate between the API and the GUI. GUI, nobody says GUI. Everybody says GUI. Graphic interface, so web-based, or that Rankscale has scraped, and the API that just returned a response through a JSON or something. So hopefully you guys know the difference. If not, we can answer that in more detail in the Q&A. But it turns out that the API responses are much more consistent, but the total average consistency, like 30%, which is really low. I mean, I was expecting it to be like 50, 60 maybe, but okay, how many runs did I have? 7 topics, 9 models. Did you say number of executions? I think it's in the several hundred. No, it's almost 2,000 executions. So runs, getting 1,722 AI responses. So, that's pretty, I think it's a solid sample. And the average consistency, as I calculated, is 30%. So let's break it down. The lineup is usually about 50, 60, more like 50, 54 is the average. So the brands that each AI mentions are kind of 50-50. The order is fairly stable. So, and the top pick is fairly stable. We already know, if you guys have seen Rand Fishkin and somebody else partnered with him and did a AI consistency study, I don't know, 6 months ago or something like that. And Rand was totally against tracking AI visibility with prompt tracking, because AI, he said that they are so inconsistent that any kind of tracking is a fool's game and you cannot really get usable results. And then basically he proved himself wrong by doing this sort of analysis, engine consistency analysis. And yeah, the variance is huge, but the top pick is kind of consistent. So the top 1 or 2 brands, let's say top 3 brands, this is I think just the one brand, the top brand. But even if you expand it to top 3 brands, it will be consistent enough so that you can say, okay, if my brand is in the top 3, then I can be quite confident that that's the real case, that there's a good probability that if somebody asks for a recommendation in my niche, then my brand will be recommended if it's top 3. If it's my brand is 6, 7, and 8, that's almost as if it's 20th. Then it's totally random, and it's much smaller chance for a user to actually see that as a recommendation. So you can imagine then that the brand rank is not a line; it's a curve where the top 3 brands that you have top visibility on your Rankscale results, they have like most. I'm not going to talk in percentages. Maybe 90% of the attention and user recognition goes to those top models. So as before, as everywhere in life, if you're first, you get most of the glory. Consistency by topic and by model. So are some topics more consistent than others? And is it average? Yeah, it pulls the average. So some topics, it's close enough. I wouldn't say that this topic is latte home machines for latte coffee. It's kind of that it's a little bit more volatile than the number one, which is bean to cup coffee machine. But this could be a useful research for your own brand. And the nice thing is you don't have to take my research and my data for it, because who knows, maybe for your data, for your brand and your prompts, this could be completely different. And it doesn't matter how consistent. So this is the beauty of using API and with Rankscale. You don't have to have a study on somebody else's data, and now you say, yes, ChatGPT or AI overviews and ChatGPT are least consistent models overall, because you would need millions of prompts to have kind of reliable conclusion like that. But you can say for our data, for the data that's important to us, that's the case. Okay, so that's it, I think. And the question is, which I'm still not comfortable with, that the consistency kind of settles even after 5 prompts. So how many prompts do you need? How many executions do you need to get a consistent result? After this, my initial finding, it's about if you run the same prompt 5 times, you will reach the peak 5 to 10 times the peak of consistency. I would like to repeat this for a lot other larger data set and to give me a better idea on that. And that's it. Yeah, you will get the links to this and to the Rankscale skill. And we have like 6 minutes for Q&A, which I'm happy to prolong. So I'm not, I don't know what the policy is for you guys.
Thanks for sharing all these insights. I think it's super valuable. Also, just to quickly pick on, for example, using the API, I always use it as well for doing some research, because what I just noticed, a lot of insights are often very vertical dependent. So therefore, you can just check it out in your own vertical, whether actually these takeaways that are being shared on LinkedIn are actually applicable to your case. Yeah. And then maybe also an interesting second thing that I want to share that I use the API for is I let it actually analyze the content on the URLs that are being cited. So then, of course, I need to allow always so it can go to the specific URL. But then because of that, I can actually get a good understanding of what kind of content is being rewarded by a specific engine. And for example, if I have a lower AI visibility score on, let's say, Gemini, maybe Gemini is like a bad example, but let's say Perplexity, then I can just understand, all right, which kind of content should I write right now, because these 5 top citations have all of this in common. And because of that, because of using the API in that way, it actually feeds into my content creation process. And I don't just let it create all the content automatically, because of course you still want to create and keep your own brand voice. Nonetheless, I get a very nice report on which kind of content should I write to actually make sure that I rank high in a specific engine.
This might be really useful when the shopping results become more prevalent, because then you can use the same process to analyze the offer and prices, like the variety of products on the kind of shopping results. So you can see, okay, my offer is not that good because currently other guys have a discount or free shipping, and I don't have free shipping. So that could be cool.
Yeah, or for example, well, we know it's also the policies are really important with shopping, that you can automatically track actually the policies or the return policies that other competitors have, and that could potentially be the reason why they are being preferred instead of your specific product. So really for the web search, I really abuse the API there.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else on the call? Do you guys have a question for me or for the team?
Can I ask you a question, Bojan?
Yeah, sure.
What are some of the automations that you often use with or often run with API?
To be honest, with Rankscale, I haven't automated anything yet. I would just, so majority of my work is just to analyze and prepare reports and strategies, how to, what to do to the clients. So I haven't done really that much automation. I wanted to do this based on consistency. So we talked about this before. So, I want to kind of save my credits and not run hundreds of runs if I don't need to. If I want to do a spot check, I can use the API and say, okay, for these 100 prompts on all of the models, run each prompt on each model 100 times, or until you reach a desired level of consistency. So you don't have to have millions of runs. You can have enough runs to kind of, until you're satisfied that, okay, you get statistically relevant kind of responses, and you can save up some money on that. And I haven't tried creating a brand from scratch and just like give my Claude with the API. Here's a brand, here are my topics and prompts, create it in Rankscale. And I want to do that. I'll probably do it over the weekend. I don't know. I can't make promises, but yeah. And what automations have you been the guys doing? I don't even know. So what automations have you been done, Jules?
Yeah, mine is, honestly, it's updating, for example, website content. So I get the AI, because I also run a few experiment websites, getting an overview of where I'm potentially lagging on which specific prompts. And then it checks out the citations that have been cited recently. Potentially, I'm missing out on that one. And then actually I get fed in specific information that I should add to the website or to that specific page, because apparently it is missing and it is being valued. So my automations are really focused on content, but they seem to work really well.
Yeah, then you're more invested and in front than me in that regard. I'm glad to see it. And I need to do more. Yeah. I'm more of a consulting work, and I don't have access to other people's sites. I don't like freely change my clients' websites. I have to, go through the motions. But yeah, that's a good idea.
Then it's round 5. Does somebody has one final question? Please go ahead, because we're sitting together, and we would definitely like to share the expertise that we all collaboratively have in this call. No questions?
I'm wondering, you can leave a comment somewhere on LinkedIn or somewhere. I'm just curious, was this too technical for you guys? Because we can do a more of an introductory, presentation as well. We've done it. Patrick and I have done it before. So, leave your comment. Do you like this technical level, or do you want something even more heavier to go through complex automation with Jules, or do you want us to kind of bring it back a little bit? Let us know.
Yeah, sadly, my question was already asked, or you explained it that you will do it over the weekend, because I wanted to ask what's the next thing you want to build with when it comes to AI automations.
Yeah, I have to think about it. My primary problem is getting clients to implement things in a timely manner. So maybe if I show them a way that we can bypass their content, or maybe just get things done faster, that would be a nice use case. I have to think about it. For now, I'm really happy to get the charts that I wanted to have a year ago and I couldn't. I'm really happy with that. I used to use Looker Studio, and it's kind of this for me feels better and faster. So I'm really happy with that. I don't have to run 1,000 miles and do everything automations. I should, but yeah, I'm really happy with this for now. And we should sometimes just be happy with what we have for a minute, then figure out what to do next.
Perfect. Well, on that note, I think it's a very nice way to end the webinar. Once again, the socials from Bojan are in the chat. Please follow him on LinkedIn and on Substack. He's actually posting a lot of interesting insights on Substack. It will also be available at the recording, a link to Bojan's socials. So then you would just need to look into the YouTube description. And then there is just one thing left for me to say, and is thank you, Bojan, and everybody else. Have an amazing rest of the day. All right?
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
Ciao.
Cheers.